Hello, and for those of you who already asked, for one, I'm sorry for the intro. I'm just getting to the point on this video. For some of you who asked about, hey, what's FTC doing, or hey, what's going on in FTC? We're currently at war right now with the Federation of Reach, insurrectionist clan. I don't mean like, hey, they're just UNSC doing stuff. So, no, I mean they're like legit insurrectionists. They do stuff like the UNSC where they have ODSTs and Spartans, but Spectre ODSTs, Shadow Spartans from S3 Delta Company, yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point of this video. The point of this video is basically do this. One, we're giving an update as to what's going on in this war, and war was basically declared from August 8th, August 15th. We basically had our first raid, and I will say this, we did lose, but I blame myself for that one due to a error in forging that no one saw. I could have somewhat had everyone scout entrances into the base. I could have did it myself, but it didn't cross my mind, so I take my own responsibility there. That and the fact that during that raid, upon 15 minutes into raid, I myself lagged out. And other people lagging out. As in, once anyone leave, the game bugged out, no one could get back in. We even had reinforcements after a while, and none of them could get in. We all reset our Xboxes, yada yada yada. But I'll give you this: F4R, you did take over that base. But anyway, to those who were there, good job though. You tried. You held it as long as you did. You tried to take it back multiple times, and well, you had it back multiple times. You're just going back and forth, but in the end, they just took that W. But anyway, in terms of this upcoming Saturday, we have another battle with them, a team tech on Cookie Shop. If you don't know what that map is, well, for one, Cookie Shop is basically a community team tag map, and what it features basically a city map. The reason why it's called Cookie Shop is because one of the buildings, like a shop, like a 2-story building. Now, why they call it Cookie Shop, I don't know. Anyway, that's besides the point of this video. The point of this video is basically give you a war update, which I will say this: yes, we did take one L, and we had one unofficial surprise, lobby bomb, which you guys saw the first battle. The second battle was 6 hours long, and we couldn't even get all of it because we had people going in and out. But anyway, other thing I want to do in this video is basically discuss the war RE, and I'll just basically go from the top. And the reason why I'm doing this is that both sides are informed on the war. People who are out of the war are informed on, hey, what's going on, or whatever. But first off, I just want to say this. Basically, this war was deemed because of this. On our end, actually, better yet, I'll start on their end. On their end, and F4, you can comment in the video, correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, the reason why they had this war is because they accused us of sending a spy. Now, we said who. We just kept asking who the spy was. They didn't give us a name. And then when they did give us a name, it was someone that wasn't. It was basically like a side account for the clan. Basically, by side account, I mean, usually when we have S3s that go through the phone, make them do the conscription first, and then just keep, the clan all organized and uniform and in unison. We basically had an S3 account that was not active since OG Reach. But anyway, we asked them who the spy was. They didn't give an answer. But then I basically showed proof of them sending a spy to us, known as Bellathor. And he basically admitted to it. And then we also saw Crimson Knits Viper, aka one of their Shadow Spartans, try to come in, and we basically shut it down. For the people who was in on that, I just want to thank this to the ODSTs, well, former ODSTs, now the FTC Army Corps. Whoever's idea that was to have Jerome make a second main chat and privatize that from Bellathor or anyone who is close or tied in with Bellathor. That was a smart idea. I will give you that. Now, Was all that drama necessary? No. But did it mislead? Yes. Never do that shit again. Other reasons why is because in the last video you basically saw the war declaration. Apparently, if I can go back and see this. Other reasons why was because of housing fugitives. I honestly have no idea what that even means. But if he's mainly talking about some, hey, you had a spy in here, why are you trying to protect them? I'm just going to say this. I didn't send no spy. If anything, I barely even want to send anyone outside the clan, because that poses a potential poaching risk or risk of them getting attached to that clan, then we lose another member. I ain't that stupid sending spies. If I just want to know you something, I'll just ask. And if anything, if it's none of my business, I just don't care. Now, if I'm a sending spy, trust me, they will not get caught. In fact, if anything, I'll make sure that, hey, I'm myself in that clan to make sure they don't get caught. But if anything, you guys already know I work a job, I already lead a clan, so I ain't got time for that shit. But that's just me personally. Other reasons why was for constant harassment during our training regiments. I'm just going to stop that one right there. We basically start harassing their training regiments after they declared war. And the reason why we even was at war before this whole war declaration was because of the fact that not only did they start opening fire upon us randomly, but they was also trying to poach us before. So, we just came and asked, hey, what the fuck? And, open fire, we declare war, nothing happened. So, I find it kind of funny that all this happens now. But, anyway. In terms of harassing during training regiments, we didn't, I will say this, we did, but that was after they declared war, and that was a spy raid win. If anything, I'm not even trying to throw it in the bus. 6-7 Lightning was also in on that attack as well. Seeing as how they basically got lied to about saying, hey, did they set up raids of you and FTC? And they was like, yeah, but with us, we basically got war declared on, but no raids or official battles were even set up. So, there's that. So, that's the whole point behind this war. Now, after that surprise lobby raid win, basically some third party came, or whatever, called Brother Blaze from the Brotherhood of God clan. And he was trying to be a neutral party, trying to figure out, hey, what's going on? So basically, both sides explained their story. It basically came to a somewhat negotiation. And in terms of 6-7 Lightning, they basically just pulled out the war. In terms of us, we're still going. I will say this. My point is this. I basically try to play it simple. I even told them, saying, hey, we didn't send a spy. It's only, obviously set us up. But if you really want to keep going with this war, we can. Like, if you want to start a war, I mean, it's whatever. Don't, go sit up here telling another clan saying, hey, we started this war. I'm holding all these screenshots that show that you were the one starting this stuff. Which Lucky Gaming Repo, somewhat admitted to. But, anyhow. Other point of this video is this. After that, negotiations, we basically had a, meeting. After the 6-7 pulled out, and the meeting was basically to discuss the war RE. That was about last Friday. And it was before that, the day before that raid, obviously, right? And basically, they sat down for us to discuss more RE, try to negotiate about it, and, well, long story short, we basically came to these rules. Now, these rules are basically the rules of the war, so if either side breaks these rules or whatever, I mean, breaking one, that's one thing, but breaking multiple ones, that's basically a, how about this? That's basically a war end off right there. Or another clan was going to jump in. Now, basically, I'm just going to explain these rules and tie up on any missed ends, so let's get to it. First things first, surprise raids do not count for nothing. Meaning, if they're, in a lobby and we join them, or we had an open lobby because, I don't know, someone left a gamma open, they joined us, surprise raids do not count to the official battle. They don't. They're just there for harassment. They're just there to waste time. And if anything, if they get booted from the lobby or we get booted from the lobby, neither side can complain about it. Now, is it a sad move? In some cases. But we already agreed that surprise raids don't count. And even in general, they don't count, whether it be in a war or not. Second off, no mods, hacks, cyber intervention, DDoSing, IP stressing, or anything of the sort. Meaning, not only game-wise or account-wise, but even in-game, like scenery or structure or gameplay-wise. We cannot use mods. We cannot use any kind of things that you can't find in regular Forge. And by regular Forge, I am talking about the updated Reach Forge. If you can't find it in the original or the new Forge, it's basically considered a mod. Now, in terms of sabers and all that stuff, I mean, that's his own thing. We are still discussing on that, but that's that. Cyber intervention, meaning we cannot IP address, they can't IP address. We can't DDoS, they can't DDoS. No one in this war can do anything that basically puts them out of commission because of either internet tampering or anything of the sort. That's actually high risk one right there. If anything, if we have proof of it, that's basically a war, shut off right there. Now, I could be wrong on that. We could just call them out saying, hey, why does this person do that, and just drop them from the war entirely. But we're still going in on that. Nothing has happened so far, which thank God nothing happened so far. I will say this, during that raid, I'm not sure, because all I know is that I basically black screened and I lagged out. Now, could it be there? I doubt it, but I find it funny. I find it funny how, as basically made the first push, I lagged out. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just mainly saying, well, I lagged out, so dang. Next, spies are permitted, which means if they send a spy here or we send a spy there, it is now free game. Now, are we going to? No. If anything, we have our own stuff to do. We don't got to be worried about no other clan or no other spies. In fact, that's what got us into this whole thing in the first place, because someone said that, hey, you're a spy from FTC. And that's why this whole war is going on in the first place. Now, am I going to make that mistake again? Go through all that? No, I'm not. If anything, I already told Lucky Gaming Repo that I didn't send it the first time. Not going to waste my time sending another time, spy anytime, because we have our own stuff to worry about. But spies are not permitted. Next, lagouts are a draw, which means if we're having a battle and either side lags out or the lobby just crashes, we just call that battle a draw. Whether we're losing, whether they're winning, whether they're losing, whether they're winning, we could be playing B2B and it's like 99-4. And as soon as that game crashes, it's an automatic tie. Now, is that kind of cheap? Yeah. Hopefully, no one abuses the rule number 2 about no mods, hacking, or anything just to cause that. I hope we got not. And if anything, it'll be a cowardly move. But lagouts are a draw, which means any 6-hour lobbies that still go on, if the server crashes, it's pretty much done. Next, scouting for team tax, BTBs on custom maps, and raids, which means if we host a team tac and it's not a community map like Cookie Shop, Subway Station, the sewer map, Arc City, yada yada, Forest of Onyx, yada yada yada. If it's not a community map like that, that map needs to get scouted. It needs to be fair on both sides. If it's a BTB map, I mean, most people know what the BTB maps are. If anything, we'll barely see a custom one there. But even if we do, both sides need to see the map. They need to understand the map. It needs to be fair so that no side can say, hey, you said you were going to put this map on. We pulled out this map instead. Yeah, no. And you already know how raids work. Obviously, you need to scout a raid base or show them the raid base. Last time we did it 30 minutes before the raid. But it basically the fort that we used was fair. They basically didn't see a problem with it. We did have some negotiation, but base was fair. Anyway, next, no poaching allowed. I'm just going to sit here and say this before I even go into that rule. I cannot stand a poach. I really can't. Like, some people say, hey, they left for their own free will, but then they show otherwise. Some people say that they aren't trying to poach and you have solid evidence against them. Some people are just leaving because of the whole, hey, my friends aren't here card. But that's his own story. But in terms of this, basically this. Their claims already confirmed that they were trying to poach. We never tried to poach any of them. And, both sides admitted to it. Now, in terms of poaching, we basically say this. Hey, they went to war with the 6-7 Lightning because they thought that they were getting their own members poached by the 6-7. So, because of all of that drama, we basically agreed to no poaching. Now, in the event that it does happen anyway, for one, whoever does a poach, I'm just going to say this on our end, we will handle that person. As soon as we tell you, as soon as we tell you on day one, saying, hey, no poaching is allowed. No, that's not negotiable here. Now, in terms of this war, basically it's like this. If a member gets poached from one clan to the other with proof, then they are dropped from both clans, if not the war. Which means they cannot participate, they cannot do anything involved. No. Or possibly, I will also say this, and this didn't cross our mind, but we are waiting until the next meeting. In terms of no poaching rule, we didn't discuss what's going to happen to the poacher. So, we'll just have to update you guys on that later. Next, battle RE will be discussed per battle, which means that if we do a raid or any team attack or anything like that, mainly for raids, we basically, during the scouting, there will basically be a, hey, this is what you can do in the raid, this is what you can't do. We'll look at the map, see if it's fair or whatever, and then we'll go from there. Basically, in terms of the last raid, an example of this was we basically asking, hey, because it's limited ammo, can we use the target designator since it's only gonna have 3 shots? They say that they prefer us to have a second rocket over target designator, but if lasers out of ammo or whatever 3 shots, they said they wouldn't like it, but they said we could. We just did out of respect. In terms of the whole rest of the RE, I will say this. In terms of our clan, we had a rule, no power weapons, obviously a shotgun grenade launcher. They didn't see the same rule. So, okay, we could have had shotguns on us, but we only had, allowance of 2. So basically the REs are different. It will be discussed every battle. If it's like a bare bones raid, then obviously you know what's going to happen there for some of you who've been in bare bones raids. If it's like a fortress map where it's basically like a big base and the spawn's really far away with a crap ton of vehicles, or at least close to the base, then it'll be discussed differently there. In terms of team tech and BTBs, we'll also be looking at those maps as well. Anyway, battles will occur on the weekends. That's rule number 8. As in Monday through Thursday, ain't nothing happening. If anything happens, probably a surprise raid, which don't count for nothing, like I said. Mainly on Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays, we will be having the battles. Usually 1 battle at least, sometimes 2, maybe even 3. Hopefully not like anything more than that, or hopefully anything back to back to back to back to back. But if it does, then well, okay. I'm just gonna say this. Personally, our clan doesn't even want to do it for the fact that we all mainly have our own lives and all that stuff. Yes, we do love Halo, but we have our own issues there. And some of our men, basically, because of issues in terms of having reinforcements on standby, that's already a big issue there. So we did implement a cooldown. Between every raid, there's going to be a 6-hour cooldown. And if there's another raid afterwards saying, hey, can you men want to do another raid where you attack us this time or whatever of the sort, then we'll negotiate from there. And in terms of like team tags and BTBs, there's a 20 to 30 minute cooldown to an hour. And basically, if there is another battle, we'll just discuss it out. Usually, if we do a team tank like that, the only time we'll do another battle, usually, like in a row, is if the first game was a tie, which you already know you will rarely see. Next rule. Well, I basically discussed the 30-minute cooldown between team tests and BTBs. Is that was raid number 9. And the last thing is time zones for battles will be discussed. As in, we cannot start any raids. They cannot start any raids. We cannot start any team attacks, B2B. They can't start nothing at a worse time. As in, they can't challenge us to a raid at 3 in the morning. We can't challenge anything to them to something that's like, 12 a.m. We can't discuss anything that's like, hey, people are in school, but we're going to challenge you at this time. No. They have numbers? Probably. We have our own issue on numbers, which we do have a decent amount, but not enough to sustain that. Like I said, people here do have lives. People there do have lives. Some of them are actually in the military. Some of us are actually in the military. Or was in the military. Some of us have school. Some of them have school. Yada, yada, yada. We cannot be challenging people at a time where it's almost, unfair for someone to get on. Where it's like, hey, I'm trying to sleep right now. Or, hey, I have something to do. We can't do that. In the event that it does happen or whatever, or it's a bad time, we'll try to negotiate it back out or whatever. Say, hey, we can't do it at this time, but we rather, do it at this time. We have people on. How's that work? Yada, yada, yada. They'll do the same thing. But those are the first 10 rules of this war. Yes, there are rules to a war. It's not like, the whole World War thing where it's like, hey, I'm a medic, you can't shoot me. Or, hey, I'm raised on white flag, you can't, touch me. Or, hey, no, taking over civilian, stations or whatever. Basically, this war was started because of those reasons. These are rules behind this war. That's the update on this war. And I will say this, we did take an L. Surprise raid, we did give the W, but that was, that's now debunked. We basically started fresh. Scores right now, them 1, us 0. We're about to go into the second battle this Saturday. And hopefully, things go well. For the people who's going to be there in that team tac for the Federation of Reach or any allies of Federation of Reach. And yes, I say allies for a reason. And I'll get to that in a second. For anyone who's there, I do wish you good luck. Hopefully, you guys already know the map, the secondary map, which we will be scouting or showing soon, so that way it's fair. But hopefully things will go well. And for those of you who just wondered why I said ally, yes, we are allowed allies in this war. If they pull out an ally, great. If we pull out an ally, great. We are allowed allies in this war. Both sides are. And because of that, we right now have already created a Discord server for the duration of this war. And for anyone who wants to see the war, know what's going on, for anyone who's allied in the war, for them, for us, it basically helps communication, basically discusses rules and ROE and all that stuff, so everyone's aware.